So I have zero goal. Any exercises that I'm doing, I'm thinking about doing because I don't want to prematurely blitz out of my workout. I'm going to try to work out for an hour, and then as long as I feel it pertinent to rest, well, that's what I'm going to do. Right? So if I did ab rolling, that would be... So I had a lot of ideas about how I would work into it, but I'm not going to add on the resistance until later because I want to work on conditioning. Now, if I'm trying to work on adding on size, obviously I'm trying to tackle the resistance first, right? The higher resistance. Full squats, easy, oh yeah. That's how we want it. And I want to look at that and see that I've been working out for a good hour and 10 minutes. Working through a lot of my idiosyncrasies, a lot of my pain. The knees are in pain. I'm old, I'm 56. So you'll learn to pace yourself when you just want to get a full-on workout in and you're not messing around, like, because what happens is you prematurely... So we're going to pace a little in here, stretch a little, do a little active recovery. Stretch the quads a little. I'm gonna walk a little. Oh yeah. I can already feel pressure on my vagus nerve. Right, so I need to actually undo one of my pants. I don't really have sweats and pants that fit me. But that's why I get into this oxygen depleted state so quick. A, because there's not a lot of oxygen in here. B, because my lower abdominal area and my vagus nerve are being compressed. And I'm just easing my way in. I want to work out for... My goal is to work out for an hour and a half. And I'm not in any hurry. I'm pacing, I'm walking. I'm trying to fill up this damn water thing, and it takes forever for the fucking water to come out. I realize that my nostrils are plugged up when I start working out, which I don't notice prior to, because the increased... We're gonna get a little warm water, get a little more walking. So I'm already feeling a prompt to do another set, and I'm trying to back off that initial prompt. I'm also trying not to get water on my son's really expensive, nice prints that he's using at the college to get people to come in and watch his 1 hour book audio book, beginning of a kind of an audio book tour if it turns into something, for Lethal Circuit, his book. Well, that last set was a little too easy, so we're going to add on a little weight. I haven't broken into this rice yet, so this is a 28 pound backpack of rice and 8 pounds of tools, 20-pound rice. Already my butt's starting to scrape on the back of that dumbbell behind me, that big old 55-pound dumbbell that I need to make feel light. All right. Yep, good call, because it's scraping that dumbbell. Take your time. That felt good. Could I do more? Heck yeah. That's what GET training is. Maybe I'll leave it on. Maybe I'll leave the 28-pound backpack on and walk. Work the calves a little. Right? Active recovery, but at a higher state where I'm doing a working recovery. Nothing crazy. Yeah, it doesn't feel some yet. And this may lead into some farmer's carries, right? Where I've got those totes that I can actually put the 30-pound dumbbells in and carry up to 170 pounds plus this back. So I could actually do around 200-pound farmer's carries. So it's serious enough, right? So we did a few passes on that. We'll set that down. I'm going to go back in the other room and do a few more passes of walking. Feels nice and easy. I'm just easing my way in. Already, my brain's going, wow, you're soft. You need to get some pull-ups, some curls, some hammer curls, some side laterals, some rollouts with presses. And it's like, exactly. That's why we're taking our time. Calm down, right? You got the world working against you. There's no reason that you should be a defeatist and work against yourself. That's primarily precisely what they want to do to you. They want you to get you working against yourself. When we say they, that is becoming highly speculative. You can only leave an association as a blueprint as to a they. Right? They who operationally follow the architectural design, the blueprint that gives them temporal corporeal payouts to sacrifice themselves and other people. That's who they are. They are everyone. Let's get real. All right? Let's see what we got. Yeah. Yeah, there's too much pain in my knee to do that, so I'm still gonna go at an angle. So we've got this 30-pound dumbbell here. How did I do that before? That's really big. That's not going to close. I think that what I did is I took out the bulky rice, right? And I put in 2 30s. How did I do that? Yeah, I did do it. As long as I can close it up. All right, this is gonna be pretty bulky. Wow, did I do that? That's fucking heavy. So that's a 68-pound jump. Gonna shorten these because they'll be hanging. And lean all the way back. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm gonna hang it back to 8. Yeah, I could have done 10. Could have done 15. The workout has to last. I'm pacing myself. And I'm not trying to mess up anything. Let's do another couple laps. Pace tempo. Stay moving. This gets that aerobic component involved. And let's see if that synovial fluid, the viscous hydration from a pump, you know, flirting with the lactic acid cycle, allows for that area to be alleviated. So all we've had today is protein. Getting a little fat, a little pudgy. Mainly you'll find that it's just holding water. You're just maximally glycogen loaded. And when you haven't worked out for a while, you start to lose the ability to load in the muscle cells prompt, and you start to hold on the viscera. It makes most people think they're fat, and then they start eating in a defeatist way, right? Or they're just eating more fatty foods. And the truth is, unless you're laying around all the time eating processed food, your body, your metabolism's gonna kick in. Most people who are getting fat are actually under eating calories. They're under eating whole food sources. What do I want to do? I know I want to switch systemically between lower and upper, upper and lower. So I need to do some hammers mixed with some regular curls and some side laterals with the 30 pounds, the lighter weight. Just easing my way in. Then I'm going to work into some pull-ups some rollouts with presses. I'm in no hurry. I'm trying to prolong this workout session. It'll probably make more sense if I put it in fast forward. Like double, triple, fast forward. 2 times 3. So I'm walking, I'm pacing. This is when you just do a walk, okay? I'm kind of agitating and stretching the knees out. I kind of wobble the knee, right? It kind of creates this ACL, MCL stretch a little bit, if you will. And it's also a good body check of going, okay, are the knees okay? Because I do have a lot of knee pain just from the physiological way I'm put together. All right, let's try this. We're just doing a hodgepodge workout. Yeah, just easing my way in there. More walk. Nice and light. So far, all this has been is a warm-up. And I realized years ago, I'd look back and I go, well, I only did 3 serious sets and the rest was a warm-up. And then I answer myself and go, isn't that what conditioning is? Right? Full recovery. So there we got the systemic, upper, lower, the blood circulating throughout the entire periphery. I'm trying to think too. I think just throwing a 55-pound dumbbell in the backpack would be the way to go. Because I do want to sneak in another set of squats because I love them. I love those squats. Well, let's just stick with what worked. So we're just easing our way in. That really worked last time. I'm surprised this backpack has survived as it has. I don't know. They barely fit. They barely fit. All right. Let's try it. Take a breather. Full recovery. Ease my way in. its last leg. If you could see it, the seams are like actually busting. Let's see how far we get. That felt good. Yeah, we could push it. Still. Easily had 2 to 4 in me there left. All right. Still doing a little walk. Another couple of circuits. Breathe. Breathe. Nosy bitch. Get a life. Get a life. Yeah, there's like really bored. Really bored, nefarious, low IQ people. This is good. So I'm feeling this nice switch towards some pull-ups. We had that nice warm-up, and we're gonna switch over. That's why you see me wearing earphones all day, so I don't have to hear that shit. All right. Feeling a recovery. Nothing's hurting. Nothing's hurting. Nothing's really taking place outside any normative solution there. All right. I'm going to be doing 68-pound pull-ups. Let's start in. Maybe we'll start in with just a basic set of no weight, right? Well, body weight, which is 203 pounds with all this. All right. Let's try this. Yeah, nice and easy. Could have done 12. Definitely feeling the forearms and the biceps and the shoulders. Yeah, it was easy peasy. If I bend my knees, then I'm not in a pull-up, right? And I'm hyperextending, so my feet touch. with as much of a bend in the knee as I can. I won't really be able to, I have very long arms, so I won't be able to take advantage of a deep pull-up until when and if I got a deeper pull-up stand. I'm grateful for what I got. So already, if I was to go more for tightness and muscle endurance, hardness, I would try 10 or 12 while resting to full recovery, and then shorten that recovery like I did when on carnivore every week, and it worked. So it's a sense of pre-fatigue, but progressive overload with progressive intensity each week. I wouldn't plan things. I'd take it as it comes, right? So my body's already like, I want more squats, right? So I think we're gonna blend in a set of squats without any resistance, just to keep the area, those muscle fascicles activated. And yeah, I'm shooting for the long way around. I can definitely feel my mid lats off that set, big time. See, the terrace didn't take over. That was all in the lats. That's a good sign. That's what it's like when you're gaining weight, but you're gaining muscle and fat and water and glycogen. All right. Let's allow for a little recovery. And then we're gonna jump in here. Just to keep the blood flow going. Nice set. Get a little stretch in the quads. A little shake in the knee. Refill that water. Full cup. So both me and my son have been drinking a lot more water. So that's starting to go a little faster than in the past. That's why I got these 2 gallons ready to go here. We'll start partitioning, sanctioning the water. All right. Since I rested a little longer on the back, and I'm still recovering, I got to add in resistance to really make it count. So this would be in effect 232 to 235. How much do I weigh? With everything on. 204. Right? 234. I'm not sure how many I could get with 68 pounds, which would be 272 or 270, right? 272. So this is a big part of the workout that you don't even see, is the fact that my heart rate's up here. This is the true workout. It's forced aerobic activity by way of recovery heart rate. So active recovery. I'd say excess post-oxygen consumption occurs no matter what. Let's ease into it since we really don't know. Right? There is one single dumbbell. No, I'm not talking about me, but maybe. But we're not done, are we? Let's try for 3 to 6. That was max. Ain't no way I'm doing any with 268. That's a goal. Or 272. So that was 38 pounds. That was wrong. That's 242. Okay. Yeah. 242. 8 pounds of tools with a 30-pound dumbbell. Yeah, so over 240. So 4 pull-ups if I weighed 240. Which when I went back a couple of years ago and I weighed 240, I think I was able to get about 2. And they didn't look pretty. But that sounds about right. Doing a little stretch for that as we walk, raising the arms overhead. A little rotator, bending the arm. Up in 90-degree, bending the arm. Or rotating, that is. Annoying. I feel like taking a little challenge on the legs. This has allowed me to do more sets on squats. So this is what I was talking about with a tier list, where sometimes you just have a series of B tier, C tier, and lower, right? Where you're just hopping around. You're never really highlighting one particular area, but you're doing enough to create enough fatigue and recovery. Down the road, it may never happen, and that is not even the goal, but that remains the goal, is for everything to be A tier. So in other words, for you to jump in and do a full resistive set of one or the other. All right, so there is 38 pounds. All right, of added resistance. See what we got. Still could have done a few more, but yeah, we made good on our promise, right, of 12. Back in the walk, where the workout really takes place. Sip of water. Several passes. Pull up the pants. So, should I treat that as a pyramid for the pull-up? Get a little recovery. Breathe. Let's get a little air. Oh yeah, nice and cool. Great western wind. Stinky seagull shitting. Yeah. Hey, it's their territory. By the way, anybody see the last Peacemaker? I think I call it Peacekeeper. But it's not keeping in peace because there is no peace to keep. So you have to make peace. And therein lies the irony with violence, right? So I was going to say, it's going to talk about eagly, being the prime eagle, the soul eagle, the esoteric eagle, the eagle munch, the over eagle. What's going to happen if I go down 10 pounds? So I'm looking more for 6 reps. So treating that a bit like well, it is a pyramid. This is how operating systems run, right? You want to get good at multifarious directed and eventually run off very little fuel. So that's why going into G&G primarily is a great tool. All right, let's get 6. Let's get 6. Oh, that's light. That is super light. Comparatively. Not when we're doing this, but all right, let's try for 4 to 6. Let's keep going. 5. All right. Okay. Did I have it on mute the whole time? Arms overhead, filling plaque, filling arteries. Keep walking. I got plans to work more back in a agonist-antagonist exercise, functional exercise. A push-up to row in a prone position. Yeah, it's feeling way more like a workout. It's more of a C-tier workout. Right. It makes more sense when we speed it up. And this is primarily a C activity where I'm flitting in and out through active recovery, excess post-oxygen consumption, reverting back to the aerobic system, away from glycolysis, allowing creatine replenishment in the phosphagen system over a 2.5 and even 3.5 minute time period. That was good. That was pushing it. We definitely went past our 3-set minimum. And of course, like, if I wasn't to do any more curls or side laterals, which I want to do, I'm planning on it, but we'll see how it goes. So you want the agonist, in this case the back, to become the antagonist. Right? And the beauty of training this way, say, working chest and back together, is that, like the child left in the middle of the argument, it absorbs all the repetitions. Ouch. It absorbs all the pain from the right and the left, from the male and the female. And the female can't understand why it is she has to remain a female. That she serves as a poor male substitute because there is no Y chromosome. And that is the conundrum for the witch. For she does not understand. She can only create the chaos. She is the entropy kicker, the electron. Make no mistake, but she is not the mastermind. That's where most people get it wrong. So to point fingers at the easily capitulated and supplicated, engineered, entropic antagonist, you have to look for what the fuck would do this in the first place. Right, so I feel very recovered. I've got a couple exercises in mind. Let's try it. Just the 30s here. Nothing to see here. Taking our time. That was fun. This time, we're going to sit for a minute and rest and evaluate. Had to loosen up my pants with a little bit of fat and water. I needed more space. Whew. That's a good one. So we could honestly end it there, because that was back a good finishing set on a B or C tier list back exercise day. Definitely B on the squats, where we get 6 or 7 sets. I'm gonna recover as promised to myself. And to do some more chest, biceps, shoulders. But at this point, you see, if I was to work shoulders tomorrow, I don't want to overdo it today, because I'll be defeating myself. So what I want is to stay light on the shoulders and the biceps, right? And that's why we back off. That's why we rest. Less rest means more triceps in the next exercise. More rest means more chest, right? Depending on the intensity, of course. But with moderate intensity, i.e. resistance, the chest is going to absorb. Especially, that's why we do faster, more forceful, concentric movements, and load and recoil in the eccentric. Okay. Nice recovery where I don't feel too woozy. I feel like bumping this up and higher in a tier list for my back. If I got one more set, I would be bumping it up into the B tier. And that's what I want. I want to at least have 2 B tiers going on here. So let's do a set of pull-ups. Much in the same fashion that I was doing those squats, right? Where I was kind of like jumping into no added resistance. You got to understand, this is added resistance to me because I'm not used to weighing 204. I've kept my body weight down pretty well, all things considered. Not intentionally. I've just had a much higher thermic effect from everything. Good recovery. Good recovery. Now we're going to head in to some pull-ups. Let's try it. Here, let's fuck it. It's a little weak, but it was an unplanned set. It did more than it looked. I could feel it going all the way down my lats. I'm going to take a breather. that ends one portion. Yeah, I'd rather save shoulders, arms, abs for tomorrow, right? That got out to my two large main muscle groups that I plan on revisiting the day after tomorrow, unless I need an extra day rest. But I plan on training all weekend.